Hey folks, this is Emily with American Resiliency. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and I want to talk with you a little bit about talking about climate. Many people have asked for some tips and today is a good day for them. We have to acknowledge, first off, that this is a heck of a time we are in. I find it easy to become overwhelmed with negativity. On climate, a lot of the incoming information, the increased public awareness and reporting that stopping climate change isn't on the table anymore. I imagine that's putting many people in the same mental space that many AR regulars have already needed to navigate. This stuff hurts. There's anxiety and grief that are profound. Because it is so evident that top down solutions are not coming, I strongly recommend that our actions focus on ground up rather than top down solutions. Building local resilience from the individual to the community level can create real change. I hope more people can find ways to move through that painful space and into acceptance and action. At Thanksgiving, I think many of us think about what is home. It's part of why I wanted to bring you into a different part of my home. Big picture though, home is our planet Earth. If you're connecting with extended family today, maybe you have family in your life where you know not to get into it on climate, or maybe you have family in your life where you don't know how to start, but you wish you could talk with them about this serious issue. This year, there's more public and scientific acknowledgement than there was last year that we're in a different place on climate. We have been since the 23 bump. And I'm going to suggest that this year, it's time to change tactics. A lot of climate communication and also just regular fights about climate have focused on the future. They've focused on what's going to happen in the future. Resilience helps us talk about what's happening now. Resilience is a topic where people are often able to come together. On the channel here, you can learn what the most likely emerging challenges are for your area and talk with people you care about what you're going to do about it or about what you've already done about it. A lot of us are looking at potential polar impacts here at the end of November, which, of course, A, freaky early for a polar vortex, and B, exactly the sort of thing we would expect with the ocean changes we are observing. For me, if we have an extreme cold event that knocks out power, my community is on the underground grid now. We're more likely to keep the power and the internet on in events of an ice-related power outage. I want people I care about in my area to know that my place is a good place to go in the event of a winter outage. What can you and your loved ones do? What could you talk about at Thanksgiving over this holiday season so that you're ready to help and protect each other through your most likely resilience challenge this winter? As a practical example, if someone's got a generator, who knows how to get it going safely? That'd be a good idea for a get together so you can all work the problem before the disaster. Maybe somebody is dealing with a water threat today, flooding or drought impacting their property. That's a problem you could talk through and find a way to act, maybe by putting in a rain garden in the spring, putting in a rain barrel, or identifying where you need to do some earthwork to divert water. For many of the people we care about, there may be issues they consider more pressing than climate and natural disaster when they think about their safety and well being today. If you're going to try to talk about resilience issues, I'd recommend you also take time to listen to what concerns are occupying the minds of others. AR folks, I hope you're on the same page with me that our goal in talking about these issues is not about freaking people out. That approach to climate communication has failed. It hasn't produced the action we need. Instead, we should be working to understand, assess, and respond to the threats heading our way. These threats can be put into very practical terms. Let everyone understand how the changes will impact them. Even those of us fortunate to live in lower change areas, we're still going to experience changes. Turning back time, keeping things the same, that's been kind of the stated goal of the climate movement for a long time, right? But there's growing acknowledgement that option is not on the table. It's time to roll with change. We're moving into a more challenging future where we need to accept uncertainty. Uncertainty should not stop us from responding to change. A lot of the time in my personal life, I'm just trying stuff. I don't know if it'll work out. I'm usually more glad of the things I at least tried to do than the things I didn't do. There are quite a few things I wish I'd gotten done this year in resilience building, but I think it's okay to be thankful for what I did do. I grew a lot of good stuff. I saved a greater variety of seed and a larger volume of seeds so as to be able to use it differently. This is just some of the seed that I saved in pod to kind of make it more appealing to little hands. We're thinking about using this as part of a program around introducing new crops through the ag program at the local school. The big power conversion in our community, that was a big deal. I put in a lot of other work on my place underground so as to improve our resilience against both heat and cold. I think the most important work I've done locally, though, has been with people. Spending time with the people around me, receiving support, and finding ways to support others. The most important and hardest work I've done locally, personally, hasn't been being some high powered leader on the ground. It's been letting myself be vulnerable. I think that some of you who have been hanging out on the channel for a while may have intuited that I am a very stubborn and self reliant individual. Community is about moving beyond the limitations of that place, even though it is a place of strength. Thinking about the organization, thinking about AR, this autumn has been a time of intense internal change at AR. We're the only nonprofit in the US focused on getting local climate resilience information out to the general public, and we're leveling up. Since this time last year, AR has at least doubled in size on every metric I track. That's 4 years of doubling. We're completing our strategic planning process for 2026 and are preparing to roll out new features, programs, and opportunities to connect for our community. We've been very fortunate. Things have come together in a beautiful way. A major donor has dramatically increased their support, doubling our budget and committing to additional giving in 2026. With this grant from the Fire Monkey Fund, and thank you so much, Christopher and Luann, AR will be able to enact our strategic plan with a ground first approach, focusing on community resilience. As we move into winter in this time of change, AR is looking forward. We're looking forward to adding a third staff member to our team, and I find myself in a profound place of gratitude to be building the team that will direct our efforts to root to ground. The AR community, all of you who support AR, should be acknowledged because we're doing something powerful together. None of us could have done it alone. Thank you for standing with me as we build the best future we can in this time of change. And I want to say, if you've been thinking about donating to AR, please consider giving before the end of the year. We are rolling out new login-only web features next year that will be free to all current donors and regular volunteers, but we need you to get into our records by the end of 2025 to receive that benefit. Any pledge is appreciated. And if your employer offers donation matching, please note AR is an eligible 501c3 organization. Next year, I'm going to bet that life will continue to be real weird and hard and probably pretty scary sometimes. I'm so grateful I'll be able to spend that year with you all because of AR. I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving.